everyone, and welcome to the My Ray of Sunshine podcast. My name is Mayra, and I'm here to help you receive the advice you deserve. Now, if you all are here, it's probably because you want to know exactly how you can start being a lot kinder to yourself, because it's important. We're all we have. Literally. So why not just take that step and try to be a little more kinder to ourselves each and every day, and you can just see how much you can start that self-love journey. And I definitely admit that I do struggle with not being so hard on myself all the time, because I feel like that's 90% of the time, like, that's what I'm doing. I'm super hard on myself for no reason. I put a lot of pressure on myself as well, especially with my podcast, and you can't help but feel guilty either. So I realize that, like, because I find myself struggling with this a little bit, or a lot of the times actually, because I'm constantly overthinking, I'm constantly in my head thinking too much about a stupid situation that shouldn't even be a big deal, but then I make it a bigger deal. I just have to remind myself that it's okay to not really be 100% all the time, because we also have to remember, and this is my first tip, that we deserve breaks and we deserve to just relax and just be lazy, be a couch potato as much as we want to be, okay? Because it's silly to say, but at the same time, we're always in a routine all the time, every single day of the week. And our body just kind of goes into that rhythm. So, like, whenever you feel like you just can't get out of it and you just don't know where you can go to, like, kind of be more productive, and you're kind of lacking motivation to do everything you thought that you should be doing, cough, cough, myself, because I have been pushing back doing my season 5, and it's just been like a heck of a journey doing this, because I am also so hard on myself, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow turned into next month, and it sucks. It sucks when you think you have a plan of, like, what you want to do, or you think you know what exactly is happening next, or what you're going to do, or what you want to do, in that case, to feel productive and feel like you're going somewhere other than just TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the social media platforms that drive us insane. Yeah, it's hard to get out of that routine, but also you just have to listen to your body sometimes, and sometimes you just need to relax. Sometimes you just need that time to just be a couch potato and enjoy it, and kind of reminding yourself that you are not a robot and you deserve a break, and it's okay. No one's mad at you about it. Like, I feel like that's another thing for me as well, is that I always feel guilty whenever I take breaks, or even if I'm on my phone too much. I'm just like, why can't I just put my phone down, set it aside, and then focus on my podcast, or edit, or record? And I find it so hard to, like, get out of that routine, because, like, I just want to be in bed watching TikToks all night. And I know I'm not the only one, because it's a struggle, guys, especially when you work full time, and especially when, like I said, there's a routine going on. But I think what I realized is that you also have a lot of self-control, and only you can kind of, like, talk yourself out of a bad habit. Only you can really, really try to change the remainder of your day. If you just switch up your decision just here and there and do something that you wanted to do to be productive so you felt better. Like, you have the power to do that. It's just whether or not we choose to go that way. And it took me a bit to realize that, like, I think that I'm just too in my head to even begin, and just seeing how, like, long the process of editing is, or just, like, how long it takes even to clean my room. Like, all of those things, like, I lack motivation just because I'm seeing, like, the bigger picture. With cleaning, for instance, I'm never done. It takes me hours. And sometimes it's like, why? Why bother? But then also at the same time, I'm beating myself up for it because I'm thinking, like, okay, something's wrong with me. Like, I am a slob. Why? What happened? What happened to my motivation, my positivity? Like, I start being really mean to myself about it. And I have, like, that negative self-talk going on and on and on and on. And it's just annoying to hear your own voice down talking when you truly just, you're human. That's the thing that we have to accept, is that we are all human. We make mistakes, and it's not even a mistake that we're making. We're just not perfect. No one is perfect. No one can be go, like, all day, every single day, as much as you want to. And I think that that's why I'm just like, okay, whenever I feel like, oh, I'm not doing this well enough, or I'm not on social media enough, like, as far as, like, my presence goes, I know that I don't really post much anymore. Like, I try to do the reels every single day and, like, a TikTok a day. Check it out, My Ray of Sunshine podcast on TikTok and Instagram. But it's hard, like, not that, like, okay, it was fun. It is fun. But it's just hard to, like, be so consistent when little things come up. Like, it's okay for you to have a life. It's okay to have plans and just be busy or doing something else. Like, it's summer. You're supposed to be enjoying it. You're not supposed to be working 24/7. But it's just important to kind of, like, give yourself those reminders that you're human. Nobody's perfect, and you just need a break sometimes, and that's okay. And I think that the way that we talk to ourselves is so important, and I think that it does really affect you, whether in a positive way or in a negative way, because I've seen it go both ways. Whenever I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling good, I'm, like, on top of the world, I feel, because I feel like I am more in control, like, I feel empowered, and I just get carried away with that feeling, which is a great feeling to have. But then when I notice that I'm talking so negatively to myself and constantly repeat things like, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, like, those little voices in my head is what kind of, like, makes it, like, it takes away from an achievement. It takes away from that value. It takes away from so much. And that's what I want you to know, is that, like, you may be going through the same thing. You might be an overthinker. You might think too much about what you do every single day and then feel guilty when you don't do something that you think you should have done. And it's like, calm down. We can always, if we wanted to change something, we can always just put it off for the next day. And if you really, truly, truly wanted to remain consistent, and if you truly wanted to make that difference for the following day, like, set reminders on your phone and, try to push yourself to do that. I mean, that's what I did when I was doing, like, a TikTok a day. I still actually have, like, a reminder to post, because it's important for me to post. But then life gets in the way. Things get hectic. Sometimes I just couldn't film a video. And I have to remind myself, like, it's okay. It is the summertime. It's fine. I'll get to it. No one's gonna unfollow me because I missed one day. And if they do, that's okay. Like, I'm still human, I think we can get so wrapped up in our own heads, and sometimes, like, we might not be the nicest people to ourselves. Like, we might not be, like, our own best friend, but rather our own worst enemy with the things that we say, with the things that we think. And we just have to realize, like, we're literally human. It's okay to think those thoughts as long as you can control it, as long as you try to not think of yourself in a negative way, but rather just give yourself some empathy and empathize with the fact that, okay, you think you don't deserve this great opportunity. All right, what got you to thinking that? Like, of course you deserve it. That's why it's yours. Like, trying to talk your way out of that negative thought and turning it into a more positive thing. And I think gratitude comes along with that journey, because once you're feeling gratitude, you're a lot more gracious with everything that comes your way. And it's okay if that takes time, and it's okay that, we constantly compare, because I think that that's unfortunately inevitable with social media these days. I mean, I feel like the longer I'm on social media, like, yes, it's hilarious. Like, I'm always laughing or, like, finding cool videos. I really love how people can become so entertaining, and I love that aspect of it. And heck, I'm glued to my phone because of it. But at the same time, it's just like, the second that I feel like I'm comparing myself for, like, just something so small, appearance, like how they're dressed, like how their hair is, like, it just goes downhill. And you just have to really remind yourself that it's okay that you don't look exactly like them. It's okay that you don't, like, we're our own person. We can't just copy and paste our life and make it the same as theirs, because first of all, that's impossible to do. And we just have to embrace being authentic and being ourselves at the end of the day. And it's very hard to do that. But I think a lot of the ways that I try to kind of be more kinder is by simply, like, listening to that negative voice and, just trying to remind myself that I'm not my thoughts, and reminding myself that, it's okay to have these thoughts, but it's also okay to shut them down. Because if you are constantly, like, beating yourself up in your own head, you're overthinking many situations, you or nitpicking every single relationship you have, it's not going to do you well, because it's only hurting you inside. And unfortunately, like, it's common that happens, or at least for me, like, it's very common to overthink. It's super easy to just compare yourself to others. And I think that, especially with the latest trends, like what's cool, what is not, like, I try so hard not to get myself wrapped up in that. To be honest, I could care less if my side part or whatever this is out of style. Like, I'm not gonna do a middle part, It's like stupid things like that, like, unfortunately has made so many people think that like, you looking different meant that you were less cool or not welcome or whatever. It's such a waste of time to actually sit there and start thinking, like, how can I change myself? And I mean, this episode also kind of goes into self-love and just embracing your flaws, because I mean, it's the way that we talk to ourselves. That's how we are kinder, like that's how we show whether we are being too hard on ourselves and when we are not, and noticing like, okay, I'm being way too hard on myself. I'm putting way too much pressure on myself. Let me just relax for a little bit and step back. Like, that is okay to do. That's what I've done my entire podcast, journey. And that is okay. Like, it was hard for me to embrace that fact, but I just think that, it just goes so hand in hand with, how you view yourself. And you always have to think about, what is truly in your heart. Only we know our true selves. We can only embrace it. We can only embrace every single flaw that we have because we know our flaws. And that could be personality-wise, that could be appearance, but we just have to, also remember to accept those flaws with grace, because it makes us who we are, and unfortunately so many people have just dealt with negative things that people have said to them, and you hear it so much, or you get made fun of for so long, that you start believing those things, and then you start going into the pattern of, I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough. Oddly enough, I think people who have been bullied just lack confidence sometimes, and that's something that, of course, is never okay, but just, think about it. Think about, all the things that people have said, whether it was, a mean thing, or whether it made you upset because it was so mean. Either way, it's a mean thing. But those are the things that, they kind of get engraved in your heart a little bit. And you just have to keep reminding yourself, it is okay to look this way. It is okay to, not be there yet, and just embrace it. Embrace your flaws. Embrace yourself, pretty much. And kind of just trying to not see yourself as, your enemy, but kind of seeing yourself in a loving way, like a person that you can respect, that you can love, and that you can continue getting to know, because I feel like we all kind of go on our own separate journeys of when we truly know ourselves, when we feel connected and when we're aligned with what we want for our future. And that's such an incredible journey, to be honest. I mean, I think I went on a lot of self-discovery in my early 20s, when I was 23 in particular. And I think that it's just been such a great journey to get into the part of actually embracing who I am. And I don't think that it's impossible. I think it's something very much possible. It just takes a little bit of time to kind of really start to think about yourself and what's good for you, and just prioritizing your happiness and loving yourself for being that person that is bringing you happiness. It's hard. It's really hard to explain. But, I can only hope that we can just start being kinder to ourselves, because just recently someone told me that they just didn't like themselves at all. And it was bizarre for me to hear, But then I understood, because that just comes from a place of hurt. And I think that I was definitely there. I hated, like, my reflection in the mirror, because I just looked different. I didn't look the way I wanted to. But you also have to think, like you grow thicker skin, and then you start embracing yourself. Like, one of my flaws, for instance, being I look too young, okay? And before, I'm still trying to embrace it, to be honest. But, like, before, I think that it really sucked for me, because I'm like, man, I look so young. Like, why do I look so young? And I don't care how many people tell me that when I'm older, I'll appreciate it, I'll love it. I was like, I am young now. I was probably like, I've been looking this way like forever, I feel like. But, like, let's say I was like 15. I'm like, man, like, why can't I just look and feel 15? Like, this is like, this is crazy. But then once I started growing up, and, I started truly thinking about, like, how insignificant it is to look young, per se, and how significant it is and important it is to just embrace it. Because I'm telling you, when I don't get carded, it's because I'm literally so confident. I know exactly what I want. I'm like, don't even hesitate. I'm like ready to take out my ID. And then it's like, oh, I didn't get carded? Cool. Like, it's a goal for me that I achieved. But I really truly think that that's all about how you carry yourself, how you perceive yourself, and how you love yourself. And that is what other people see. Because there's nothing worse than, like, you giving a compliment to someone and then them not accepting that compliment because they don't feel it in their heart. And that's only a matter of time for them to go on their self-love journey to embrace themselves and love themselves, every part of it. Like, you just have to accept your great things and your flaws, and you just have to love it all. The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm an ugly crier, guys. Like, I don't know why I said that. But I am. And I just think that once you can kind of just go on that journey of, like, you know what? I'm stuck with myself for life. You only really have yourself. Like, we're living our life. Like, we're not living anyone else's life. Everything we do is for ourselves. And if we can just revert back to, like, our innocence, for instance, when we were kids, we were probably, like, very obnoxious, annoying. But at the same time, I feel like we could have been very confident as well, And I think that the older we got and the more we got picked on, the more it affected our confidence and made us shy or perhaps more reserved with some people. You just have to think about it. How we saw life as a child is a reflection of, like, pure innocence. Like, you are literally just seeing the world for the first time. You're excited to experience life. You're excited to grow up. I don't know why. You're excited to grow up. You're you're just wanting to explore everything. You're excited for everything. And then once you keep getting older, you notice that like so many things happen in between that affect our character big time. And it's important for us to keep reminding ourselves like of who we were as a child. Like, why can't you be as confident as you were or as obnoxious with respect as you were? It's just, it's important to kind of remind yourself of who you are, to know who you are, in order to love who you are. Because the moment that you do accept your flaws and love yourself for who you are, like every single part of yourself, personality, appearance, everything, like you're the whole package. And it's important to kind of be able to see that and admit that and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I like you. That is literally what my old gym teacher said once, and it stuck. Like, I literally forgot that she even said that until this very moment where I'm talking about it, but it's the truth. Like, we just have to look at ourselves with eyes of love, with eyes of innocence, and accept it. Accept who we are. Accept every single part of us, and continue to remind ourselves that, you know, it's okay to hurt, it's okay to have bad days, it's okay to not be productive today, it's okay, you know, I'm on that journey, it's totally okay. Just be kinder, be more gracious, and be a whole lot more loving. So everyone, I really hope this podcast made you smile at least once. Stay tuned for more advice and positivity next Friday. As always, it's Mayra. I really hope that you guys take something away from this episode. I truly think that season 5 is showing my heart, and again, I am not perfect. I do not think that I have all the answers as much as I wish. Sometimes it's hard for me to listen to my own advice. So, yeah, there's that too. But it's all a matter of accepting and loving ourselves and kind of reminding yourself that it's okay. You know, if you're having a bad day, if you're not feeling okay, it's okay. Because I am the queen of overthinking and putting so much pressure on myself. So much pressure on myself. But also reminding myself that I am human and it's okay. Literally, like, the sun will come out tomorrow. My ray of sunshine, the sun will come out tomorrow and shine through, and all of our worries that happened the day before will either be forgotten, hopefully forgotten, or they'll just be semi-lingering, but only you have the power to change what you want to happen. And again, you can't do that unless you just give yourself that push of encouragement, not pressure, and make things happen. Bye!